All right, welcome to the Church Video Guy Budget Tool Spreadsheet. This is a Google Sheets document that you will be able to save a copy. Is the first thing you want to do when you open it up is open up here and go ahead and say make a copy. That way you can save it as a new one for yourself. You can type in your whatever year you're going to be for that budget and you can start budgeting. This video is an instructional video on how to use the sheet. If you want to know what the annual, how to break down your budget per month and what the A, B, and C priorities mean, I highly suggest that you watch the video that I made going over how to break down a budget, how to create a budget, and how to separate those priorities. Again, this video is just for how to use this spreadsheet, how to use this resource here. So your very first sheet here is called Annual, and it gives you the breakdown for all of your numbers. You're going to be typing your numbers in through all the other sheets for the month, and there's a hidden sheet that does all the calculations. But this is where everything kind of comes. You can print this page to take with you to your budget meeting. You just put in here what year you're going for, and it breaks down all of your January through December, breaks down your A, B, and C priorities, gives you separate totals for each of those, gives you a grand total for each month. And then right here, this totals all of your months together. And then you have a pie chart because some leadership, they like a little bit of visual, to see things visually, and you can kind of break down how much of this number is going to be A priorities, B priorities, and C priorities. And then of course you also have the monthly breakdown, just in case there's going to be certain months where larger purchases are going to be made. You'll be able to see those spike or those dips of when budget's not going to be as high. Again, these are visual cues for leadership to be able to see these things and kind of get an idea of where you're going with your budget. Now, I have some fake numbers in here in January just to show you some graphs. If I don't have any numbers in there, it actually doesn't show any graphs until you put that in there. So we can go to the month of January here, and you can see how I've put in those items. There's about 20 items you can put per month. Typically, we're not, most places are not going above that. So hopefully that can fit in for you, but up to that many, the whole chart works. And this is where you put in your item name, where you would describe, what it is, the description of a little bit of detail. You can see this is a larger font, so you can kind of just see it. This is like if you want to put some details down, it'll do it. And then this is the web link. If this is something that's ordered online, this allows the people getting the budget, if they want to see it, they can go and look at those things themselves. This is where you type in the priority. It is color coded. If I were to change that to a B priority, it would change the color there, and I'm put that back to an A priority. It's got conditional formatting on that. And as I type that in, A, B, or C, it's sending it to a different sheet, sending those numbers to a different sheet for the total. So this will determine where it's going to show up on the rest of the Google Doc and then on the Google Sheet. So quantity, you type in how many you're doing. If we're going to get 2 of these Pocket Cinema cameras, you'll see that it updates the total there automatically. It'll take the quantity, multiply it times the price, and give you that item subtotal. If I put in tax, and there's a little note down here on all of these, is if tax is applicable, input tax as a percentage, as in 0.08 or 0.085 or 0.09 or 0.10, but put it in as a percentage. Otherwise, leave it as 0. If you just delete it, if you just hit delete, it kind of messes with everything, and it doubles. It basically just adds these two together and gives you that. So you don't want to leave it blank. Put in a 0 or put in, let's just say it's 0.085, and it will do is it'll multiply that number times the tax, put it right here, and then add these two numbers together in the total. Everything comes down to give you a grand total for the month, and then that will show up over here how that's been adjusted now. Now our pie chart is seen here. You can put that there. If I go to, let's just say I go to February, and let's say in February, we're going to add an LED wall. We'll just put it on there. We'll just put a 10 foot by 20 foot, 10 foot by 20 foot LED wall, 2.9 millimeter. Cool. We don't have a web link for it right now. We're going to make this a C priority because, this is future. We're thinking we're going to do this in the future. It doesn't necessarily have to happen right now. The price we're going to say is $15,000, which is it's going to be, let's be realistic. Price is going to be like $50,000. I just want you to see what happens with the numbers if we do this. Yes, we are going to have tax 0.085. There it is. Now we have $54,000. Now watch what happens when we come here. When we go back to annual, now our C priority is that big, and now you got a spike. So this monthly breakdown will adjust scale based on the numbers that are coming in. So you can see now that January is way down here and February is way up here. So you can see annual, you can see January all the way through December. There is a hidden, you can see here if you want to go to view and see hidden sheets. hidden data. There is a hidden data, and this is where all the calculations are happening. Every time you type in a number, it's filling this in. There really is no reason to see that. It's locked, so you won't be able to make any adjustments on it anyway. So you can just hide that and not have to have it there. I just wanted to show you that way you can see what's happening. There's a hidden sheet that's doing all the calculations to give us this page right here, and this is the page that you can take to your budget meeting to show what's going on. So again, I can delete that. Make that a 0. Again, remember, don't just delete, make it a 0. Otherwise it'll mess with your numbers. So that's the biggest thing. That's why I put that little thing here. If applicable, input tax as a percentage, otherwise leave as 0. Cause it's just one of those funky things that Google Sheets does that I've not been able to figure out how to get around. So that's the Church Video Guide budgeting tool. I hope this helps you be able to present your vision to meet the vision of your church and be able to, create budgets that the leadership is going to say yes to.